Good morning and welcome to the show. It's another Friday morning and I'm your host, Hurley Buff, Director of the Cleveland Bradley Business Incubator. James Dunn and Stacy are taking a well-deserved day off. Of course, it's getting close to the holidays. I suppose they need a day to go shop and whatnot.
Sure.
Thanksgiving next Thursday. And it's also a very special Friday in the way that it's kind of a dark anniversary. It is the 50th anniversary today of the assassination of John F. Kennedy. Of course, you weren't around in those days, were you, Scott?
Not even close.
Yeah. We've got a big show for you today. My first guest is going to be Scott Goebel. Scott is with Sound Accounting, and he's going to be talking to us in just a few minutes about his business and the world of CPAs and accounting and all kinds of good stuff.
Oh, it's riveting stuff. Yeah.
I'm sure. Well, that's why we brought you here, because we know it's riveting.
Yeah.
But there is another anniversary that is not as well known that I want to mention. I know that you said your daughter, I believe, was a big Doctor Who fan.
Big fan.
Okay, well, for all you Doctor Who fans out there, Doctor Who will turn 50 years old Saturday, November the 23rd, and I've been given to understand they've taped a special that's being aired on BBC America for that. So if you're a big Doctor Who fan, you might want to catch that. But in any event, Thanksgiving coming up next week, and I'm sure a lot of Black Friday specials going on after that. And for all of you who are planning on getting out and beating the pavement and being on the streets shopping, we have a much better treat for you. I think you would agree with me on this, Scott, coming up in the latter half of the program, because we've got some folks that can help you out with that. But we're going to take a commercial break right quick and come right back here and talk with Scott and go and get another cup of coffee, and we'll be right back right after this.
Town Americana, where trucks are big and bold, and a handshake is firm, and your word is gold. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens is a $2,000 drive. Maybe you're coming from here or here, doesn't matter. Buying a truck from Don Ledford in Athens will save you at least $2,000 bucks. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens, a $2,000 drive worth making.
I'll take that drive every time.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast in Cleveland, is the place to find quality pre-owned cars and trucks. Kyle offers on-the-spot financing on all vehicles on the lot. Each pre-owned vehicle goes through a complete inspection to make sure each car and truck meets the Kyle Motors standard. Warranty and extended warranties available on all vehicles. Kyle Motors will sell you a car or truck that you will be proud to drive for many years to come. See Tony, Bill, Dale, James, or David and let them put you in your next quality pre-owned vehicle. Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast. Phone 790-7100.
Are you having trouble filing for disability?
Seems no one is concerned about your pain, the waiting, the denials.
While some representatives will meet with you in court, we will meet with you now to discuss your plan. We'll review with you the same file that the judges will see. Call us now. Social Security Law Center at Logan Thompson.
You're entitled to better.
This segment of Tennessee Valley This Morning is brought to you by Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland and 2120 Chapman Road, Chattanooga. For your next new or previously owned vehicle, make it Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, the better way to buy.
Good morning and welcome back. Hope you had time to grab that second cup of coffee and a donut or two, maybe. At least that's what I do, anyhow. I'm Hurley Buff. I'm your guest host today. James Dunn and Stacy taking the day off. And with me is Mr. Scott Goebel with Sound Accounting, which is a business located conveniently in the Cleveland Bradley Business Incubator. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning.
I want you to start off by telling us a little bit about your business and how that you've gotten that off the ground.
Well, we're a CPA firm. It's myself and one other CPA, Jay Russell, and we specialize in small businesses and do a good bit of individual tax work and tax representation work. And we were really looking for a location to put some roots in Cleveland because it's a great market, and we're having trouble finding just that right spot, and we referred to the business incubator, and yay!
And lo and behold, there's
there
the
we are.
perfect spot
Yeah,
right
it
there.
has been. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's interesting that you specialize in small business, and that's a wonderful thing because there's a lot of small businesses in Cleveland and Bradley County that not many people specialize in handling those types of businesses. Where do you find the biggest difference between handling a small business and a large business as a CPA?
Well, one of the biggest differences, it's not about the accounting, it's not even necessarily about the tax law. Now, the tax law is the same for a small business as it is for a big business. The difference is that every small business is a family business. Even if the family's not involved, still, it's a family business because that business owner is going to take that business home at the end of every day. And the family's going to eat or not eat or go to Disney World or not go to Disney World based on how things go in that business. So it's a different world. So for us, working with small businesses is more about orientation. It's more about understanding how to deal with the family dynamics of the small business than anything to do with the law or the accounting.
Well, and I imagine too, we're dealing with smaller businesses, and in a lot of cases, I'm sure people new to the business world, I imagine that education is probably a big part of what you do as well.
Absolutely. In fact, we break the mold a little bit when it comes to education among CPA firms, because most CPAs take the attitude that we want you to pay us to do this work. We take a little different slant on it. What I discovered very early on is that most small business owners simply could not afford to pay a CPA to handle absolutely everything. They don't have in-house bookkeepers because they can't necessarily afford them. So what are you going to do? Well, they show up with a box of receipts, and that's not a good thing ever.
No,
Take one
well,
of my classes
really,
and you'll
what's
find
wrong
out.
with a shoebox full of receipts?
Oh, it's a bad thing. So we sort of took a different slant, a different strategy, and said, look, we'll teach you how to do it. We can't teach a small business owner how to be a CPA. For that, you need to spend 5 years in college and take a really long exam. But we can teach them enough to manage their business finances, to keep a proper set of records without having to spend a fortune, so that when they do make an investment in our time, we can spend more of that time, more of that investment in value-added activities versus just sorting through receipts.
Well, I know we were talking before the show, you were saying that one of the most commonly asked questions is when do I need a CPA? How do I know when that I need somebody else's hands on my books as opposed to me trying to do it myself?
Okay, that is a very common question, and the line, it's very easy to step over that line without realizing it. Most individuals can easily complete their own tax return. If you have a job, maybe your spouse has a job, so you have two wage earners in a home, maybe some student loan interest, mortgage interest, medical deductions, you can usually get through that on your own. You don't really need to hire a CPA firm or a tax preparer to take care of that. Now,
I agree.
I
don't know about the easily part, but I agree with
yeah,
the statement.
well, okay, easily by comparison. Now, to be frank, I can change my own oil, but I choose not to do it. So even if you're in that situation, you can choose not to do it. but usually when I'm reviewing returns like that, they're fine. Whoever, when they filled out their own return, they did it properly, there's just nothing to it. But there's certain life events where you really need to talk to someone that understands the tax law. Marriage and divorce, at least in the year of the marriage and the year of the divorce. Not that one necessarily follows the other. Buying a home, selling a home. Those are two issues that bring a lot of tax complications that people don't really understand necessarily. You're selling your home and then buying another one. If you do the paperwork properly, that's a non-taxable event. If you don't, well, you could have some capital gains issues on that. Starting a small business, that day, you really need to get a good lawyer, a good CPA, and a good insurance agent on your side that very day. Rental property. We found a lot of individuals have suddenly found themselves as landlords because they bought a home, they were upside down on the home, they couldn't find a job in the area, they had to move, they couldn't sell the home, so they had to rent it. So they became accidental landlords. Well, whether you become a landlord on purpose or on accident, you need to get that good lawyer, good CPA, and good insurance agent at that very moment because all the rules change. Your homeowner's insurance isn't going to apply necessarily, and the tax complications of being a landlord are pretty rough.
And I imagine there's probably a lot of that, considering I know that the real estate market now is kind of rebounding a little bit,
Yes.
but I'm sure there's still a lot of people in that situation.
I've been doing this for over 20 years, and I've never seen as many one-property landlords ever. In fact, it's almost a conversation that I have. Well, right now it's slowed down, maybe once a month still.
Wow. Well, speaking of which, experience, 20 years you've been doing this?
Correct.
How did you get into this business?
Accidentally, quite frankly.
How does one accidentally become a CPA?
It's not easy, trust me. I actually began life in technology, and I worked with accounting software. I designed and implemented accounting software, and I decided at one point that that was a very stressful way to make a living, because it is.
Okay.
And so I went back to school and got a master's degree in business administration with concentration in accounting, and sat for the CPA exam, which meant a lot of hours.
I can imagine. I've heard that that's one booger of a test.
Oh, absolutely. Plus having to go back to school as an adult and sit in classrooms with 19 and 20-year-olds in some cases. That was a lot of fun, but it was worth it, and I've never looked back. I really enjoy it.
Well, when did you actually start your own business?
I founded Sound Accounting 2008. Was when this firm was actually founded. Operated it more out of my home, I guess you could say, in some way before I moved into the incubator. And then the other CPA in the firm, Jay Russell, he started in 1974.
Wow.
So we're an odd couple, and it works out really well because you've got me, the super geek accountant, and then you have Jay, the not quite so super geek accountant.
But a great number of years of experience between the two of you.
But a great number of years of
though.
experience, and between the two of us, with me taking my slant on things and him taking his slant, we tend to come to a really good solution for a lot of our clients.
Well, okay, I want to back up just a minute to what you were saying. If you're going to start a small business, you need to get a lawyer,
Yes.
an accountant,
Yes.
and
And an insurance agent.
an insurance agent. Okay. First of all, for what purposes? And second of all, how would somebody go about finding those three things?
Okay. Well, the easiest way to find a CPA that I know is to go to soundaccounting.com, which is our website.
Yes,
but,
it's right, that camera right there,
soundaccounting.com.
Right.
But no, another great source of referrals for all of that would be, they could call you, or the Small Business Development Center here
Yes,
at Cleveland State.
definitely.
It's really good at helping pair up professionals with people that are starting small businesses. But the reasons why, you're going to need the attorney to deal with form of organization. What's your liability going to look like? You're going to need the CPA on the early end to address that same question, form of organization, because you have the legal and the risk issues of form of organization, LLC, corporation, partnership, etc. But then you also have the tax considerations. You have to come to some conclusion there, something that'll satisfy both of those requirements.
And really, all three really are coming back to the same issues.
And then the third,
correctly?
the insurance, again,
Right.
is all about covering your risk. When you start a small business, you're going to have a tremendous amount of inherent risk. If you're accustomed to getting a paycheck every other Friday at 5 p.m., starting a small business is a new life. So you've got that inherent risk. You don't want to add more. And you certainly don't want to take on uncompensated risk, basically taking on a risk that you're not going to make any extra money for. Get the lawyer, get the CPA, get the insurance agent, cover yourself, know what you're doing before you get too deep, and your chances of success are much, much higher.
Well, and you want to develop good bookkeeping habits right from day one.
Yes.
And I would assume too that, supposing that this entrepreneur who may know their product inside and out completely, but has no clue as far as accounting goes, what would your advice be for somebody in that predicament that really has a product that needs to be in front of the public, but they haven't had the first day's experience in accounting?
For that, it would be contacting a CPA and explaining the situation. Make certain that you're talking to a CPA that specializes and actually is willing to work with small businesses. And a lot of CPAs aren't, and that's fine. These are the sorts of things we have conversations about over coffee. When we get together, I can't believe you're doing small businesses, but it's what I love. So not all do. So you want to make certain that you're talking to someone that really works with small businesses.
And I would say too, somebody who understands the perspective of the business owner, getting a business started and off the ground.
Yes, because most business owners I've found, myself included, there's a strong do-it-yourself attitude that's attached to it. Well, I want to do this myself. Often there's a little bit of a need for privacy. I sometimes have people say, well, I really needed to talk to you a year ago, but I was so embarrassed. And I just want to look at that person and say, good heavens, there's nothing to be embarrassed about. There's absolutely nothing going on in your books and records that I have not seen. Trust me, I don't even care. I'm just here to help you.
But really that's understandable, because most of us consider finances to be a very personal thing.
Yeah.
And so, you can understand how that would be the case.
Absolutely, I do. But the good thing about dealing with a CPA is they pretty much beat that out of us in college. And by the time you get past the CPA exam, you're generally mature enough to not be that way.
Wow.
It would be like being a doctor that's squeamish around blood. You just can't do it.
I was going to say, it's kind of like going to the doctor is something you just got to steel yourself and go.
In more ways than one. Yeah.
Well, listen, we've only got like a minute left. I want you to give our audience some contact information for yourself. Tell them how to get in touch with Sound Accounting, how to either call or email, as you said earlier.
Okay. Our website with all our contact information is soundaccounting.com. Very easy to locate. We can also be reached here at the Bradley Business Incubator at Cleveland State in Suite 211 on the second floor. That office is actually staffed on Mondays and Wednesdays, but you can always call ahead or email for an appointment. Email address would be info@soundaccounting.com, and our phone number is area code 423-648-9894.
I'm sure too, a lot of times you're able to help your existing clients, the clients that have already come to you, a lot of their questions could be answered over the phone rather than having to make an appointment to come see.
I spend a good 3 or 4 hours a day just doing text messages.
I would not
Hey,
doubt.
Scott, I bought a new pickup truck. What does this mean?
Exactly.
So yes, we even do text messages.
Well, there you go. That's customer service.
That's
what they
customer
call
service,
that.
exactly.
Well, all right. Well, Scott, I appreciate you being here so much, and
Certainly.
we'll by all means be promoting your business next
Thank you.
door at the Business Incubator. So everybody come and see Scott, especially if you are thinking about starting a small business, as you just heard. Well, we're going to move right along in the show. We're going to take us a short break, and then we're going to come back and talk about some Christmas retail, so to speak. So you guys stay with us. Go and get another cup of coffee and come right back to the TV. We'll be back in a moment.
Town Americana, where trucks are big and bold, and a handshake is firm, and your word is gold. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens is a $2,000 drive. Maybe you're coming from here or here, doesn't matter. Buying a truck from Don Ledford in Athens will save you at least $2,000 bucks. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens, a $2,000 drive worth making.
I'll take that drive every time.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast in Cleveland, is the place to find quality pre-owned cars and trucks. Kyle offers on-the-spot financing on all vehicles on the lot. Each pre-owned vehicle goes through a complete inspection to make sure each car and truck meets the Kyle Motors standard. Warranty and extended warranties available on all vehicles. Kyle Motors will sell you a car or truck that you will be proud to drive for many years to come. See Tony, Bill, Dale, James, or David and let them put you in your next quality pre-owned vehicle. Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast. Phone 790-7100.
Are you having trouble filing for disability?
Seems no one is concerned about your pain, the waiting, the denials.
While some representatives will meet with you in court, we will meet with you now to discuss your plan. We'll review with you the same file that the judges will see. Call us now. Social Security Law Center at Logan Thompson.
You're entitled to better.
This segment of Tennessee Valley This Morning is brought to you by Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland and 2120 Chapman Road, Chattanooga. For your next new or previously owned vehicle, make it Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, the better way to buy.
Welcome back to the show. Now, the good portion of the show for all of you out there who are itching to start the Christmas buying season. I have two lovely guests here, Kim Curran with Kim Curran Creations and Cheryl Barker with Serendipity CB. And everything you see in front of us here on the table is some of the products that are available at either one of your ladies' locations at the Cleveland Bradley Innovation Center. And how are you, ladies?
Good.
Good
How
to
are
have you
you?
here today. Oh, I'm great. I'm great. It's Friday. That always makes it easier.
Woohoo.
Well, I want you guys to tell me all about what's on here on the table in front of us. I know you're going to be running some specials, and I know that you've extended some of your hours for all the Christmas shoppers out there who just can't wait to get at it. Small Business Saturday. You two are going to be open for that, correct?
We are. We will be there from 10 until 2 on Saturday the 30th.
Saturday,
And-
November 30th. This is
Exactly.
the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Exactly.
That you two are going to
And-
be open for business.
And we both will be having specials that day. Just something a little out of the ordinary.
Speaking of a little out of the ordinary, just the pendant that you've got on is a little out of the
Our
ordinary
little 3D
too.
snowman, yeah. Yeah, I've kind of gotten into 3D this year.
Oh, sweet.
It takes a little longer, but it's more fun.
Well, I remember last year on the show, it was sometime before Christmas, I'm sure, that you had the little snowman that you made for the incubator tenants.
Yes.
And those weren't 3D, but they were really pretty. And then a lot of the men in the building used them for Christmas ornaments as well. So they're versatile as well as being really cool. But what kind of specials are you going to be running at your shop for the Christmas season?
Well, a variety. Right now, I have bottles that are regularly $20. They're $15.
Okay, now do we have an example of, oh, we do right here, don't we?
We have one right there and actually showing a use for it. This is normally $20. It was just a big green bottle, and now it's, if you want to, it's a candle. Oh, you can get my model. It's a candle holder if you want. You can use it as a candy dish.
That's nice, especially this time of year.
Especially this time of year. A spoon rest. You can put apples on it. You can use it as a bread plate or a cheese tray. Just the possibilities are endless.
Yeah, I noticed around here in the front there's actually some serendipity product, I believe, there on that.
Well, we're working together. You brought that up. We'll talk about that.
Okay.
We're working together, and we're using, it's kind of the gift basket idea, except everybody has a basket. We don't need another basket. Now you have a bottle. So after you use Cheryl's products, you can use it as a soap dish.
Candle holder.
That's a use that I hadn't thought of, was a soap dish. That would be cool.
A lady bought one recently and said she was getting it for her husband to empty his pockets into, to put his wallet and change, etc.
Yeah,
So,
because
it's-
invariably there's always a little table inside the front door that's the catch-all for
Right,
everything.
right.
Well, that's a cool use
Kim
for
has
it.
given me a couple of these to use in the massage room, and people use them to put their jewelry in, and then we've got some with the candles in it.
Well, and I imagine that would probably be a good idea too, like buy a kitchen sink. If you have nice jewelry and you don't want to get them messed up as you clean the kitchen, then that would be a good place to put them too.
Right.
Well, and tell me more about the project that you two are doing together there in the front.
Well, basically, we're just taking one of my bottles and putting Cheryl's some of Cheryl's products in them. And I'm getting noisy here. Uh-oh.
That's okay.
Stuck.
Got it.
Yeah. And we'll make it up into a nice little gift for you if you want.
Oh, so it comes
it's-
gift wrapped,
it
ready to
comes
go.
Gift wrapped, ready to go if you want it, or if you just want to buy the components and do it yourself, do it that way.
I see.
It's just
Okay.
a little
now,
something we came up with this week.
guys, you heard it here first. If you want to impress your lady, be that your wife, mother, girlfriend, fiance, then this is the way to go. Not only is it unusual and pretty, but it comes gift wrapped and ready to put under the tree. So there you have it, guys, from the director of the business incubator. Well, Cheryl, now you're going to be running some specials too, I understand.
I am. Each week but starting next week through December, we're going to have massage specials, gift certificate specials, and then specials on the product. And then like on the Saturday, where Kim and I will be open at the same time, we can help if you pick out a dish or a container from Kim's place, then you can bring it next door. We can try to fill it with goodies and gift wrap it while you're there.
Sweet. Now that sounds like a good idea too. So it's going to be kind of a custom operation, I guess.
Exactly.
Well, do tell now, if somebody had a specific piece of glass, a bottle, or some item that had some special, significant meaning to them, you can work with that as well, correct?
I can. However,
There was a however, I
There is
saw
a
that.
however. I
Okay.
will not take great-grandmother's wine bottle from her wedding because I can't guarantee exactly what's going to happen to it in the kiln. Usually everything's fine, but things roll and in fact, I have a basket of bottles that are $5 each. They just didn't turn out exactly the way I wanted them to. So sure, I'll take your bottle and we'll look at the molds and do whatever you want with it. But again, I don't want the family heirlooms.
I see.
Okay.
Well, and that's understandable.
Oh, and I've had
That's
people ask,
understandable.
but no.
But when the glass goes in the kiln, once the door is shut, you really have no control over what happens to it from there, right?
No control at all. And I wish everybody could come by and actually watch. I have a little peephole in the side of the kiln, and you can actually see when the glass starts to melt, when the bottle starts to fall. It's just, it's amazing. then it gets all foggy in there and you can't see anything else. But it's very interesting. And I've said this before. My husband gets tired of hearing it. It's like Christmas morning every time I go in and open the kiln to see what has happened. I was very excited. I did something new overnight last night, and so it was very, very exciting to get in this morning to see if it worked. It was something I'd never done before.
So every time you open the door, it's surprise.
It can be a big surprise.
Okay. Well, but I'm sure there's been some very happy accidents too over the time that you've been doing this.
Sure, there have been, and just recently I'll show you this if I can. This is what I got out this morning.
Oh wow.
Well, it wasn't all put together like that. But the little Bluebird wind chime. But it's 3D. It's tacked on in 3D, and I've never done 3 layers before.
Oh, I see.
So that's kind of a new thing.
Yeah, you can feel that. So it's sort of raised off the main body of the glass there. And I imagine too when the light hits that's striking.
It is beautiful. I actually took it outside and took a picture and put it on my Facebook page.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
Check out Kim Curran Creations on Facebook. And actually, I have a website, which is kimcurrancreations.com. I put more pictures of things like this on the Facebook page. So if you like that, then you can kind of keep up with me in real time.
So just go to Facebook and put in Kim Curran, and that's spelled?
Kim Curran Creations.
Kim Curran Creations. Okay.
KIMCURRIN Creations.
There we go. Because really, I mean, a picture probably doesn't do this justice. I know that it laying here, these colors are not anywhere near as brilliant as they would be if it were hanging outside or near a window or something, because this is a very brilliant blue, and then we've got a very dark green here, but apply a light to that and it could become really beautiful. But that's pretty. And this was a happy accident?
Well, it wasn't an accident. Actually, it worked out the way I wanted it to. That doesn't necessarily always happen.
Sometimes that's the accident?
Yeah. Sometimes that is the accident.
Okay. Well, and I know that you've discovered a lot of different uses for the glass and whatnot while that you've been firing. So some of the happy accidents has actually turned into a new line of product.
Exactly. I bought a couple of those.
These here?
The tic-tac-toe board, which is dry erase. You can use any felt tip marker and play tic-tac-toe and wipe it off after the game's over. So it's kind of an eco-friendly thing, as well as this, the eco-friendly notepads. Save a tree.
Save a tree, that's right.
Now, I have one of these on my desk, and that works great when you're going through your messages for the day, and you can scribble down without having to waste a bunch of paper.
Well, now let me ask you, do you have to have some kind of special pen or anything to make it erase? Or
any felt tip marker. Actually, this is a wet erase marker that I used on this just so I could transport it and not wipe it off, but even a Sharpie.
Really?
Yes, even a Sharpie. It just wipes off the glass. But
so this may be the only pad in existence that you can get Sharpie ink off of.
Yeah, probably. Okay. But I have these in a variety of colors. And at this point, I can do some custom orders, but we're winding down here. You know, there are only so many hours in the day and only so much room in the kiln.
And how long does it normally take to fire something like this in the kiln?
Well, that one has actually been in the kiln twice. And because of the size of it, it didn't take quite as long. That probably was finished and cooled down in maybe 18 to 20 hours. But then it had to go back in again to have the little pebbles tacked on the top. So it's been in twice.
Now, when you say tacked, just for the sake of our audience, we're talking about it's actually melted to the glass,
yes,
correct?
It's attached to it. Right. Well, most of the pieces, this piece, this snowman nightlight, all the pieces, it's smooth.
Completely
all the
smooth.
Pieces have been melted together. And the pieces like that with the little pebbles on top, they're just tacked on top, so it's like a 3D effect.
Okay, so they're not put together in any other way other than by melting the glass.
No.
And so you don't ever have to worry about coming in one day and the beak is fell off the little bird or anything.
No, it's all melted together. And it is all glass. I'm often asked how I get the color in it. That's the color the glass was.
That's the color it is to begin with.
That's the color I started out with.
And that begs one more question, and then we'll have to go to break. But I know with certain bottles, you had told me in the past that there's certain colors that just don't make it through the kiln process.
Reds don't come through. Actually, on occasion, there might be a particular kind of paint that will make it through the process, but that's, 1 out of 100. I mean, it just doesn't happen. So that'll also alter the color of oranges and pinks, purples, just depending on how much red they have in them.
So anything really that even has red in it is going to be affected in some way or form or fashion. So, the Coke bottle that I have from 30 years ago, if I bring it to you...
You just put that on your shelf, Hurley.
Just put it on the shelf, okay, because the red's going to disappear, correct?
Exactly.
Okay.
If we have time, these Coke bottles, these are very popular, and I have a limited number of these.
I know it sounds like I'm destroying this, but I'm
The Coke
not.
bottle wind chimes.
This is Coke bottles.
But those were the ones. Those were embossed. Those weren't painted red on, so I can use it. If it's embossed, then we can work with it.
All righty. Well, I'm going to lay this down very gently on this chair over here, because not only am I afraid I'll break it, but it is a little noisy
it's
too.
It's not as delicate as you'd think.
No, it doesn't look that way. I mean, it's actually heavy. It's got a good weight to it. Well, all right. One more time for our viewers out there, please tell where to see your Facebook page and what your website address is, your contact information, and your new hours.
Well, I will say, and Cheryl can talk about this too, Thursdays in December we will be open from 4:30 till 7 with special prices and refreshments and some different things on those nights. Website, kimcurrancreations.com. Facebook, Kim Curran Creations. Follow me on Twitter at Kim C Creations, or call me at 413-8715, or stop by in the New Innovation Center, just on the front. My name's on the door.
And that's the New Innovation Center that's on the far side of Cleveland State, which is just past the softball field.
Right.
And you're open from what times during the day?
Well, I'm usually open to the public in the afternoon. So if you get there after 1, I'm there, and lately I've been there till 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night. So,
but if you plan to drop in, then the afternoons are definitely better
but
for you.
Feel free to give me a call at any time, and I can meet you there. Again, it's 413-8715.
Well, very good. Well, we're going to come back in just a minute, and we're going to have a little talk with Cheryl Barker and talk about some of the products that she's going to be offering and your new hours as well, since you two have decided unilaterally to keep the Innovation Center open late through Christmas.
That's
so
right.
we're going to do that. You guys go and have another cup of coffee, grab another donut, eat one for me, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast in Cleveland, is the place to find quality pre-owned cars and trucks. Kyle offers on-the-spot financing on all vehicles on the lot. Each pre-owned vehicle goes through a complete inspection to make sure each car and truck meets the Kyle Motors standard. Warranty and extended warranties available on all vehicles. Kyle Motors will sell you a car or truck that you will be proud to drive for many years to come. See Tony, Bill, Dale, James, or David and let them put you in your next quality pre-owned vehicle. Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast. Phone 790-7100.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Town Americana, where trucks are big and bold, and a handshake is firm, and your word is gold. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens is a $2,000 drive. Maybe you're coming from here or here, doesn't matter. Buying a truck from Don Ledford in Athens will save you at least $2,000 bucks. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens, a $2,000 drive worth making.
I'll take that drive every time.
This segment of Tennessee Valley This Morning is brought to you by Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland and 2120 Chapman Road, Chattanooga. For your next new or previously owned vehicle, make it Crown, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, the better way to buy.
And welcome back. And we're having a very special show today for all you people out there who are about to get into gear for Christmas shopping and are itching to get out to the store. Now, I'm addressing all you guys out there too, because let me tell you, these two ladies here, if there is somebody on your list that you need to buy for that you're a little uneasy about, come and let these ladies help you find the perfect item and then wrap it up real pretty like this for you too. So it will look like you've put a great deal of thought into it. But I want to talk to you, Cheryl, about I've given up trying to keep up with you. You've got so much new product coming out all the time. Please tell the viewers about all the different stuff that you've come out with since we talked last.
Well, we do massage and skincare at Serendipity. And when we are not with clients, we're making all natural body care products and healing products, as I call them, because a lot of them contain essential oils that are made with a purpose of healing, different ailments or emotion. A lot of them are tied to emotions with essential oils.
And I know you've come out, that was one thing that I was thinking about in particular, you've come out with a gardener's kit.
I do. I have a gardener's kit that contains a very moisturizing scrub, a citrus scrub, and then it has a salve, the Salvation salve, which has cocoa butter and orange in it. Cocoa butter promotes skin renewal and helps with those very dried, cracked hands. So that is in there. And that is perfect for anybody that spends time out in the yard or, doing chores around the house. My husband actually uses it. He works outside, so anybody that's outside getting their hands dirty could use that, and it has a nice, clean scent that both men and women would like.
Well, and that's important. I think we need to state, because I've smelled some of this product too. It's not anything that a guy couldn't use.
Correct.
I mean, it's natural smells, like the
Right.
citrus smell that you're talking about.
And then we have several products with that in mind that people don't like scent. Like myself, when I go to the mall or places and people have on the perfumes and things, that really bothers my allergies.
Oh man, right here, one of them. Yeah.
So some of the products, we have a body oil and a body butter. Those are all very neutral, that you're not going to smell heavy, real heavy scents with them. Some of the product, if you decide that you want a scent later, we can go back and you can customize it with your own essential oils and turn it into whatever flavor you would like later down the road.
Now, essential oils, just for those like me out there that
Okay.
wasn't really clear on that to begin with, tell us exactly what an essential oil is.
An essential oil is a essence of a plant. It is most of the time it's from the petal or the bark or the root of a plant even, and it is a pure essence from that it cannot be chemically made. So a lot of times when you are at the store and you see a bath salt and it says that it has lavender fragrance. Fragrance, anytime you see the word fragrance, that means that is a chemically lab-made fragrance. So people that have allergies, most of the time they are allergic to the chemical makeup, not the scent itself. So by sticking with the essential oils, those are pure oils that don't have any other components in it. It's just straight from the plant. And sometimes there's different ways. Some of the bark, they may, grind it to get the oil to drip out. Like if you have a citronella plant, a lot of people use those on their patios for the mosquitoes.
Right.
If you take it and rub the leaf on that plant, you'll have an oil on your hand. So they're extracted in different ways, but all of it is going to be a pure oil if you get a true essential oil. And that The essential oils have a lot of healing properties. They have a lot of property from your olfactory that when you smell that goes through the system and can actually treat conditions. There's research that shows that they have effects on the body that can treat certain conditions. And then through the skin, if you apply it through an oil or your bath salt, those can be absorbed through the skin as well.
They just kind of soak in there. So, and that's kind of the theory behind the salvation.
Yes.
I love these names, salvation. Now, that's a topical salve, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and so how did you come about that recipe? I mean, I'm sure you must know quite a bit about what plant heals what, but how did you come up with that recipe?
Well, some of it's from trial and error, I'll be honest. Some things don't turn out very well, kind of like what Kim was saying, that some days we do good and some days we don't. But having the esthetician background, I know how things work with the skin and what heals the skin, and I've tried to make products that I think are going to be beneficial. So some of them are for dry skin, some of them are for actual cracked skin, and then it's just a matter of playing around with preference of scents and type of butters that you use or the type of oils that you use, you know, and doing a lot of research on how they affect the skin and the body.
But even with the scents that you're talking about, you're still talking about all natural scents that you would smell in the course of a day.
Right.
Or you could smell in the course of a day.
Correct.
So there's no chemical or anything in there
there's
that's
no
going
parabens,
to...
there's
you
no...
know, my sinuses are not going to flare up when I walk through your bay, so...
And actually, speaking of the sinuses, this little kit here that we have, the cold and flu sinus kit for Christmas, all of these products, the essential oils that are in them are the eucalyptus and the peppermint and the camphor and things like that help to open up those sinuses, to get rid of the headaches. There's a chest rub, a vapor rub in here that you can rub on your chest or the soles of your feet at night. Put your socks in and your body is going to absorb through that, and it helps. Also has rosemary, and rosemary is very good for the circulatory and the respiratory system to kind of open up those airways. So some of those products are specifically made to help with certain ailments that we all have.
And that's your sinus and flu kit, is that what you call it?
Yes, cold, sinus, flu, yeah.
I'm kind of getting the feeling that I might have been a guinea pig for that last year when she was coming up with that recipe. You brought me the spray, you know, to kind of keep germs down in my office, but you know, knock wood, I mean, it worked. I wasn't sick last year at all. Yep. Didn't get to take a single day off, Cheryl,
well,
but it evidently worked. No, that's a great thing, because I know there's a lot of people in our area that are like me and suffer from sinus problems, and I know that definitely some of your products has helped me. But what other kind of kits have you put together like that someone could come in and buy all together like that? The
little brown box that we have here, I kind of thought that had my nieces in mine. Looks like a little purse, but I do have several scents of just the essential oils that we were talking about. That's a pure oil.
That's an essential oil right there.
That you can buy in this size. And then we have these little pendants that you can put the drops of oil on, and then they can wear that as a necklace. I keep one hanging on my computer back at my desk, so you can change those out, but the scent will last for about a day, day and a half. So we have a little kit like that for the little girls that, well, I mean, it doesn't have to be a little girl, but for the ladies.
Hey, I mean, that sounds like a great idea, especially for people who work in an office where everybody works closely together. You know, you wouldn't be putting on something that would irritate your neighbors, so to speak. Wow, that's cool.
And there's a lot of things now, you know, that people are wanting to make their own laundry soap and home products and cleaning products and bath salts and things like that. So this one here's a little kit for those people in mind, that it has a couple of different essential oils, and it has what we call a carrier oil, which is an almond oil, and that is safe for all skin types. Even if usually if you're allergic to a nut, they hear the word almond and they think that they can't use it, but this is the one nut oil that typically people don't have a reaction to. And then it comes with a little vial and a dropper that you can play and mix formulas and stuff for those people that are, starting to try to make some things at home. That's a little kit to
So
kind
they
of
can
help
sort of
them.
make their own signature scent
Right,
with that.
and get them started on that. And then the little burlap bag there in the middle, this has just a body scrub and a body butter in it, and they just stack in there nice. This is a all-purpose body butter made with whipped shea butter and almond oil. And then this one is the mischievous scrub. That's the citrus scrub. So you can use it on your hands. I keep this at the kitchen sink. Works really well when you come in from outside, or just when your hands are really dry, because it scrubs real good and then it conditions, and then you can follow up with the body butter. So we have several different little bags, containers. They could come in if they want to make their own mix and match assortment. We can do that, or we can, like we talked earlier, get some of Kim's. She didn't bring all that she has, folks. I'm telling you, she's got a lot more.
This is true. There is a lot more.
But she's got beautiful little dishes. That you can put all kinds of stuff in, and we could wrap some things up or custom make something.
There you go. And I see right here we've got some of that now. I was asking if I was going to be able to lift this up here, but what is the product that you've got on this?
That one is the Pure Body Oil, which is a coconut and an almond oil. You can use it as a massage oil. You can use it just as a moisturizer when you step out of your shower before you completely dry off. You can rub that in. You can put a squirt or two in your tub and use it as a soak, and it'll condition the skin. And then the other item there is a tea bag. That one is the Muscle Rescue formula. I've got a sinus one and a muscle one, but that is dried.
Muscle Rescue. Okay, now I'm intrigued. Tell us about that.
That is some dried flowers and herbs, and the muscle one has Epsom salt in it. Mix those together and then put it in a little tea bag, and all you do is you throw it in your tub like you're making a pot of tea. You throw it in your tub, and as that heats up, the aroma comes out, the Epsom salt will melt.
Okay, but I want to be very careful to say you don't drink it,
No,
right?
you do not drink it.
This is for the bath water.
This is for the bath water.
Okay.
Yes, this is for, and then you got your little candle there that you can keep on Kim's dish next to the tub while you soak.
And then after you use the products, you have a soap dish.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
there you go.
Or to set a candle in by the tub.
Exactly.
There you go.
I want to add, she's talking about all these scents. I am fortunate enough to be next door to her, and I get to smell this. Even if we haven't talked, I know when you're back there mixing.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
She's the chemist back there with the lab coat, with the test tubes and whatnot.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, with an item like this, okay, you were telling us about the indications for the need for that, but with your body butter there and the mischievous, now I'm assuming the mischievous, you could probably add essential oils too to create your own scent if you wanted to.
Well, the mischievous, that one is already scented. That's going to be a citrus smell. But we could probably, custom. I don't have just a plain body scrub without a scent, but if they're interested and they come by and they smell some essential oils that they like, I'll be more than happy to give them a recipe where they can apply that at home.
Wow.
Because the body scrubs, I use a couple of different oils in that one. It's got coconut or coconut and almond, olive oil. So I kind of, put 2 or 3 things in there together. But at home, they can use regular sugar. They could use brown sugar. They can use olive oil or grapeseed oil or whatever they have in their cabinet, and they can mix that together, and then they can apply essential oil of their choice, and can use that as their own gift, their homemade gift too. So
is it important using the sugar instead of salt, for instance?
I like the sugar better because it is not as abrasive on the skin. When you start using the salt, and then some people have really sensitive skin, that can cause some, damage to the skin. So I prefer sugar because as you're using that, that's going to melt away quickly, and then you don't have that residue and stuff either. So now the bath salts or the tea bags, now they do have the salt in it, but that's going to melt. You're not rubbing that on the skin. So that
just dissolves and becomes part of the bath water.
Right.
Okay. Still want to be very careful. Say don't drink it. That's not for drinking.
Yes. No. Please don't drink it.
But with the mischievous, especially, you're saying you were keeping it by the kitchen sink. All right. For those of us who have never used a scrub, what do you expect, and how is that better for you than regular soap?
Well, soap is used for cleansing, but depending on what type of soap you have at home, most of them are going to leave a film on the skin, and they're not very conditioning. The scrub, what it does is it's exfoliating any dead skin cells that you have on the skin. So when you take that scrub, the sugar is actually scrubbing off any surface dead cells that you can't see them most of the time because you have millions even on your hand. Right now you've got millions of skin dead cells waiting to come off. So that exfoliates, and then with the oils in there, that penetrates the skin and leaves the skin soft. So it's kind of like a twofold thing. But you can use it in the sink. Those you can use in the shower. I keep them in the shower. If you use them repeatedly every day in the shower, which you can, but just make sure that you're going to spray with some type of a cleanser because we don't want you to step in and feet go out. But but they, that's the main difference between the soap. The soap's not going to exfoliate, and it is not typically as moisturizing as what that's going to be.
Cool. Well, we've only got a couple of minutes left. I want to make sure we've got time for you to tell our audience how to get hold of you.
Okay. Again, like what Kim had said, we're going to be open on Thursday evenings, the month of December from, 4:30 to 7, sorry. And Saturday, after Black Friday, will be open from 10 to 2 on that day. I work mainly by appointment because I have massage clients during the day, but you can call, and the number at the shop is 423-559-7805. You can text. My cell number is area code 865-803-6421. My hours and appointments are available online on the website, which is www.serendipity-cb.com. And then like us on Facebook. We'll have weekly deals on Facebook coming up, and the Facebook is Serendipity Massage and Skincare.
Well, ladies, that about wraps it up. I thank you so much for both being with me today, and a lot of good information to pass along. Hope all you shoppers appreciate that. That is your Christmas special from me. Of course, James and Stacy will be back the next time, and hope you enjoy your weekend. Have a very pleasant morning.